Dream big and explore our world.
Storytime anytime! Hey!
A music and adventure swirl.
Storytime anytime! Hey!
A hike in the forest and swim in the sea. Meet silly creatures and learn new things. So sing great songs, travel on a train, or build a skyscraper and pilot a plane. Whatever you imagine, whatever you explore on this magical journey, there will always be more. Make new friends, come on, don't be shy. Let's get a kite and we'll fly, fly, fly. Whatever you imagine, whatever you explore on this magical journey, there will always be more.
Storytime anytime! Hey!
Hi, and welcome back to another fun-filled episode of Storytime Anytime. Do you have a favorite toy? A friend that's there for you to play with? A pal to sit by your side when you're going on long trips? Or a bedtime buddy when it's time for you to go to sleep? I remember when I was a little girl, I had a stuffed rabbit named Hopper that I took with me everywhere. We played games with other kids and, of course, hopped like bunnies. For our first story, we're going to meet the Velveteen Rabbit, a stuffed bunny just like the one I used to have. The Velveteen Rabbit. There once was a Velveteen Rabbit. On Christmas morning, he sat wedged in the top of the boy's stocking, with a sprig of holly between his paws. At first, the boy loved the rabbit, but soon he unwrapped his other toys and forgot the rabbit completely. After that, the rabbit lived in the toy cupboard. He was shy, and most of the bigger toys ignored him. The skin horse was different. He was old and very wise. "Don't worry," the skin horse told the rabbit. "Those fancy toys will never be real." "What is real?" asked the rabbit. "Real is a thing that happens to you," said the skin horse, "when a child loves you for a long, long time." One evening, the boy could not find the toy that always slept with him. Nanny reached into the toy cupboard. "Here," she said, "take your old bunny. He'll do to sleep with you." That night, and for many nights after, the Velveteen Rabbit slept in the boy's bed. At first, the rabbit found it uncomfortable to be hugged so tight, but very soon he grew to like it. The boy talked to the Velveteen Rabbit, and they played games together. When the boy dropped off to sleep, the rabbit would snuggle down close with the boy's hands clasped around him. Spring came, and they spent long days in the garden. The boy gave the rabbit rides in the wheelbarrow, and they had picnics on the grass. Once, when the boy was called inside, he left the rabbit in the garden until after dark. Nanny had to find him and bring him inside. "Here's our old bunny," she said. "All that fuss for a toy." "Give me my bunny," cried the boy. "He isn't a toy. He's real." The little rabbit was very happy after that. He loved to sit in the grass and watch the boy play. One evening, two strange beings crept out of the woods. They were rabbits, but they were furry, and they moved and twitched their noses. "Come play with us," they said. "I don't feel like it," said the rabbit. "I don't believe you can," said one of the strange rabbits. He stretched out his neck and looked. "He hasn't any hind legs." "He isn't a rabbit at all," said the other. "He isn't real." "I am real," said the Velveteen Rabbit. "The boy said so." Just then the boy ran past. The two strange rabbits were frightened and disappeared. Weeks passed, and then one day the boy became ill. Strange people came and went in the nursery, but the Velveteen Rabbit lay hidden from sight. He knew that the boy needed him. For a long time, the boy was too ill to play, but the rabbit looked forward to the time when they would go out in the garden again. He crept up close to the pillow and whispered his plans in the boy's ear. After a while, the boy got better and could go outside for fresh air. One day, the doctor came into the room. "That old bunny is full of germs," he said. "Burn it at once." So the little rabbit was put into a sack with a lot of rubbish and carried to the end of the garden for the gardener to burn the next day. The Velveteen Rabbit's head stuck through the top of the sack. He could see all the places where he had played with the boy. A real tear trickled down his nose and fell to the ground. Where it fell, a mysterious flower grew. The blossom opened, and out stepped a fairy. She said, "I take the playthings children have loved, and I turn them into real. Before you were real to the boy because he loved you. Now you will be real to everyone." She flew him to a glade where the wild rabbits danced. Then she kissed him and said, "Run and play, little rabbit." The Velveteen Rabbit was scared. "I don't know if I can," he said. Just then he felt a tickle by his ear, and, without thinking, he lifted a hind leg to scratch. The Velveteen Rabbit was not scared anymore. "I am real," he whispered, "and I can run and play like the other real rabbits." And that's just what he did. The Velveteen Rabbit was real at last. Wow, Hopper never became a real bunny like the Velveteen Rabbit. But I just love happy endings. And how interesting, a stuffed animal that wanted to become a real animal. Have you ever wondered what it would be like if one of your toys came to life? And all the fun and exciting things you could do together? If I Had a Dinosaur. If I had a dinosaur, I wouldn't wait in line. Basketball would be a snap. Rainy days would turn out fine. A dinosaur would help with chores and pull me through the snow. He'd help me see things way up high, as well as things down low. If I had a dinosaur, I'd give him all my peas. I would ride him everywhere, high above the trees, in the city, at the shore, and to the town parade. If I had a dinosaur, I'd never be afraid. Do you know what that sound was? That's right, it was a train. But that's no ordinary train, no siree, Bob. That was the Magic Train, a special train that helps find and return little boys' and girls' lost toys. Let's find out where he's off to today. The Magic Train. The little train looked like any other toy train, but there was something very special about him. This train was magic and could travel anywhere. Every night it was the magic train's job to gather up the forgotten toys that were left by little girls and boys. He would load the toys up and bring them to the children. Tonight, the magic train was in a big hurry. Little Tommy was sick, and he needed a special load of toys to cheer him up. Choo, choo, choo! I'm coming through, sang the magic train. The magic train slipped under a big chair and found a dusty baby doll. The magic train chugged into the hall closet and picked up a lonely lion that had been lost for many days. Out the closet and down the stairs dashed the magic train. Choo, 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 I'm coming through, he sang. Come aboard, called the magic train as he dashed under the dining room table and found a tiny toy drum. Then the magic train darted through the little trap door the dog used to go in and out. He knew the porch was a perfect place to find forgotten toys. Behind the rocking chair was a big trailer truck that hadn't moved its wheels in weeks. Hop aboard, called the magic train. We've got important work to do. Chugga, 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 toot, toot. Under the bushes pushed the magic train. He knew the garden was a good place to find lost toys. Look at this, said the magic train. 3 little ponies in a row. Come aboard, let's go. Don't forget me, cried a little faded teddy bear. Oh, you poor thing, said the magic train. Climb in, climb in. Quickly, said the little bear, over there, and he pointed to the side of a big tree. Sure enough, just under a root were 3 tiny soldiers that had begun to rust. Come with us, cried all the toys. Little Tommy is sick, and we're going to cheer him up. The magic train chugged through the grass, where he found a small plastic turtle and an old spyglass. Get in, tooted the magic train as he raced under the porch. There he found a wonderful little castle and a rag doll that had lost one of its eyes. Hurry, it's getting late, said the magic train as he sped along the garden path to the front of the house. Look, cried the soldiers, a storybook. They jumped down from the train and lifted it aboard. Time to go, said the magic train as he traveled up the porch stairs and back into the house. All the toys were happy to be together again. They screamed and giggled all the way to Tommy's room. At last, the magic train stopped at the foot of Tommy's bed. The baby doll blinked. The lion roared. The drum rolled. The trailer truck hummed. The ponies kicked. The teddy bear danced. The soldiers saluted. The turtle looked through the spyglass. The rag doll flopped. The castle let down its drawbridge. Tommy, remember us, Tommy? They all called as they scrambled onto his bed. Tommy looked at all his old lost friends. Of course I do. How did you get here? The magic train brought us, they shouted together. But the magic train was nowhere to be seen. He was on his way to help some other girls and boys. Choo-choo, I'm coming through. I'm coming through for you, he sang. As a grown-up, I don't play with toys anymore. But looking back, I am so grateful to have had them when I was your age. My old pals helped me develop my creativity when we played together and went on adventures in my imagination. Because I had Hopper as my friend, she helped me learn how to make friends and how to be a best friend. Toys are there to make you smile and be happy, just like the toys in our next story, who don't only want to help the children make friends and have fun, but the grown-ups too. The night the toys came alive. This is the story of an amazing thing that happened in a place called Pleasantville. Pleasantville was a nice place to live. It was probably a lot like the place where you live. But there was one thing about Pleasantville that made it very different. The people in Pleasantville never talked to each other. The mothers and fathers always went around 2 by 2. They never talked to other mothers and fathers. It wasn't because they were mean. It was just the way it was. The children in Pleasantville always played at their own houses. They never played with the children in other houses. It wasn't because they were mean either. It was just the way it was. The people of Pleasantville kept to themselves, and that was just fine with everyone. Everyone except the toys. All the toys in Pleasantville had come from the same store, so they all knew each other. They had been friends at the toy store, but after people bought them, they didn't get to see each other anymore. Because the children in Pleasantville always played at their own houses, the toys had to play at their own houses too. And that was very sad for the toys. Toys enjoy each other's company, you know. It was especially sad for the 2 young bears. They had been at the toy store together and had become very good friends. They had hoped that someone would buy them both, but that didn't happen. One bear went to the White House on Oak Street. The other bear went to the Blue House on Pine Street. They couldn't see each other anymore. One night, the bear that lived in the White House was sitting by the window. He'd been left there when the children went to bed. It was late, and everyone in Pleasantville was asleep. The little bear was sad. He missed being taken to bed. He missed his friend who lived on Pine Street. He was so sad that a big tear rolled down his cheek. And when it did, an amazing thing happened. The sad little teddy bear came to life, and his friend in the Blue House on Pine Street came to life too. In fact, every toy in Pleasantville came to life. And when the toys realized they were alive and could move about on their own, they all raced out of their houses to find their friends. The streets of Pleasantville were soon filled with toys of every kind. The toys shouted to each other. They hugged each other. They ran and they skipped and they jumped for joy. It was a wonderful sight to see. Together at last, the toys had a party that went on all night. They danced and they sang. They played leapfrog and tag. Nobody thought about going home. Everyone was having too much fun. But too soon the night was over and the sun was coming up. The toys had to get back to their houses before the children woke up. They had to get back before they turned into just plain toys again. But the toys didn't know for sure where they lived. They all ran to different houses, but none of them ran to the right house. When the children woke up, you can guess what happened. Everybody had the wrong toys, and they all wanted their own toys back. The children told their mothers and fathers, and every mother and father decided there was just one thing to do. They would take their toys back to the toy store. So all the mothers and all the fathers and all the children and all the toys went to the toy store first thing that morning. At the toy store, the people of Pleasantville discovered something. To get the right toy back to the right child, they had to talk to each other. And so they did. Mothers and fathers talked to other mothers and fathers. Children talked to other children. And everyone in Pleasantville discovered that everyone else in Pleasantville was very nice indeed. After that, the mothers and fathers in Pleasantville didn't go around 2 by 2 all the time. Sometimes they went around in 4s or 6s or even in 8s. And the children in Pleasantville didn't always play in their own houses. They mostly played at each other's houses, and they brought their toys with them. That made the toys very happy indeed, and it made Pleasantville even nicer than it was before. This has been brought to you by Twin Sisters Digital Media and Evergreen Podcasts. Be sure to hit subscribe. Parents, for an opportunity to win a $50 gift card, find us on Facebook by searching Twin Sisters Digital Media. Follow our page, then just like and share our latest post. The winners will be announced on Facebook a week later. If your children enjoyed these songs and stories, go to twinsisters.com to find even more ways for them to sing and learn. Be sure to subscribe to our newsletter for our free Download of the Day giveaways and promotions on exciting new digital learning content like these and much more. And visit our friends at evergreenpodcasts.com. Thank you for joining us at Storytime Anytime.